Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel. If you're dreaming of growing your own juicy melons but you think your space is too small or your soil's too sandy, this video is your sign to go for it. Today I'm sharing our journey, how we planted small melons and watermelons right at the back of our humble backyard garden, what we fed them and how it felt to finally harvest them. And trust me, you want to stay until the end because I'm going to be sharing with you the exact mix that brought our little melon babies to life, even in poor soil, and the sweet surprises we didn't expect along the way. So let me take you to the very beginning. We had a tiny stretch of forgotten space behind the washing line. It was dry, unused, and mostly ignored. One late afternoon, as my kids were playing, my husband looked at it and thought, what if we gave the space a second chance? So we started digging. The kids thought it was just another messy adventure, but he saw the potential. We prepped the soil by loosening it up and then adding a layer of compost and raking it flat. Then we planted sugar baby watermelon seeds on one end and mini cantaloupe on the other. Now here's the funny part, when the vines first sprouted, they looked so fragile. My son said, "Mom, are we gonna really grow these into watermelons?" I said, you know what, I have no idea, but let's see what happens. So what is the secret fertilizer mix that we use? Now here's where things get interesting. I've always believed in feeding the soil, not just the plant. And since our soil was light and sandy, pretty low in nutrients, we had to build it up from scratch. We added banana peel compost. This is full of potassium and calcium. We saved it weekly. We buried it near the roots. We also added liquid seaweed solution every 2 weeks. We watered at the base, and it's like a green smoothie for the plants. Next, we used worm castings. If I could bottle the joy I feel scooping this stuff, I would. It's rich, crumbly, and alive. Lastly, you need a pinch of potash. Once the flowers came in, this really helps the fruit set and ripen, and the transformation was absolutely wild. Within weeks, our vines were stretching, reaching, curling across the soil like curious little snakes exploring a new world. It felt like watching a miracle in slow motion. Now let's talk about the first harvest, and this moment got my kids so excited. It was early morning and I noticed one of the sugar baby watermelons had turned a deeper green, and the spot underneath was a creamy yellow, and the tendril closed to it, brown and curled. All signs said it's time. I called the kids, come quick, we're harvesting our first melon, and my husband came as well, and he started checking, and we each took turns holding it like it was a newborn. It was small but perfectly round. We sliced it open on a wooden board in the garden, and the smell that came out, incredible. The kids shouted, "It smells like candy," and we tasted it, and yes, it was sweet. But more than that, it tasted like accomplishment, like patience, like dirty hands and whispered prayers. One of my sons said, "We made this," and I swear in that moment I felt like the richest person on earth. So here's what we learned the hard way. Not everything went smoothly. So here's the real talk, so you don't make the mistakes I did. Starting with mistake number 1, spacing. I planted too close. As you can see here, the vines got tangled. Some melons were hiding so deep, and we missed them until they were overripe, unfortunately. Mistake number 2 is pollination. So I assumed that the bees would do their thing, but early on I had to hand pollinate using a soft brush, and once we started doing that, fruit set increased. Mistake number 3 is to do with mulching. So we didn't mulch at first, and the sun scorched the soil, especially the area that we planted the melons in. It was exposed to full sun. So once I added straw, the difference in moisture retention was amazing. And lastly, timing. So we picked our first cantaloupe a bit too early, and the inside was pale, and I was quite disappointed. Lesson learned, when in doubt, wait. Still, those hiccups made us better gardeners, and there's no failure in the garden, only feedback. So what is our melon booster recipe? Okay, here's a secret blend that changed the game, starting with 1 cup of compost with banana peel and eggshells, 2 tablespoons of worm castings, 1 teaspoon of organic potash, and 1 liter of diluted seaweed solution on a ratio of 1:10. You're going to go ahead and mix the water near the base of your melon plant every 2 to 3 weeks, and this boosted flowering. It helped fruit set, and it gave us a juicy, dense water watermelons with thin rinds. I tested this on one half of the garden and didn't use it on the other, and the difference was shocking. The treated plants were twice as productive. So here's the truth. You don't need a huge garden. You don't need perfect soil. What you need is willingness, a bit of patience, and a sprinkle of curiosity. Those tiny melons reminded me that magic lives in the ordinary. And if you've been putting off planting something, anything, this is your sign. Go outside, dig, plant, water, watch, and feel. If you enjoyed this story, like this video, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. Have you ever grown watermelons? And if not, what is stopping you? Let's talk. And don't forget, next week I'm going to be sharing with you what happened when I planted pumpkins right next to the melons. Spoiler alert, things got wild. Until then, happy growing. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day.